Can you imagine your life where money is your friend, working with you to achieve all your dreams and desires? If you struggle seeing money as your friend, then join Kathy Cook Noble, financial advisor and educator on understanding how your money can work for you. It is possible. Now, here is Financially Speaking with Kathy Cook Noble.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Financially Speaking on the Inspired Choices Network. I am your host, Kathy Cook Noble, and tonight we are going to be joined by a friend of mine and an exciting person and an exciting personality and businesswoman, which I will introduce to you. So here on the Inspired Choices Network, for those of you just joining in, Financially Speaking, we look at making money and finances nice and easy, the way it should be, because that's how it is. Everybody gets overwhelmed a lot of the time with money and finances, and our goal here is to make it nice and simple and easy to understand. And that's the beauty of actually the whole network. Is the Inspired Choices Network is really all about empowering people and making it better and easier for their life and for them to help people in their lives. So it's exciting, and I invite you to tune in to Financially Speaking every Monday, and to also tune into the other shows that we have on Inspired Choices Network, because there's a lot of really cool and great hosts that offer some really great advice and empowerment and ideas for you. I am your host, Kathy Cook Noble, and for those of you who don't know me, I am a financial advisor by day as well as a bookkeeper, and I am here on the Inspired Choices Network on Monday afternoons. So we are excited to have everybody here. I do have a guest tonight, and I'm so excited because I've been working on getting her on here for a while. I think we've been in talks for a couple months at least. So I want to introduce Angela Smith to you. Ange is the founder of Wholistic Gangster. She loves leading by example to show you that you can have everything you desire in life if you are willing to do the work, the self-discovery work, and being honest with who you really are and what you really want. You will often find Ange surrounded by salt lamps, citrine crystals, and applying essential oils for whole life health. She considers herself to be a modern-day hippie with a high level of mental and emotional strength. So giving back to the community and being of service is a high priority to Angela, and wholeheartedly her passion in life is helping people say, screw you, society. I create my life and health on my own terms. And she is going to sound have a lot of ideas and a lot of advice for us. And I'm excited because Christine is out there tonight listening, and she shares a lot of the same philosophy about screw you, society. Let's do it yourself. So I'm excited to talk to Ange and hear about her story. Ange, welcome to Financially Speaking.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy, for having me. I'm really excited, and it's my first time being on the show, so I'm totally excited to hear what you have to say and just add value to the people that are listening.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm excited to have you here. I know we talked about it at the end of 2018. There was some opportunity for you to come on the show, and then we just haven't had the date set down for 2019, and as crazy as it seems, we're already 4 months into it, so it just seems to go by so fast. But I'm excited to have you here. You know, you're just to start with the whole Wholistic Gangster movement, because you're the only person I know that really embodies it in a really great way. And you're so great at showing up when you go somewhere as yourself, and you're so great at sharing all these great tips with people on what you do to make your life happy and healthy, and really doing your own thing on your own terms, like I mentioned at the beginning. So tell me a little bit about your whole Holistic Gangster philosophy and how you got started.
Yeah, so I guess for myself, when I was in my early 20s, I'm 37 now, my life came to a point where I had a lot of social anxieties, so I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to leave my home. If I did go somewhere, I had all these beliefs, someone was whispering that they were talking about me, and it became very uncomfortable, all these false realities. And I had all these fears and all these worries. I was a mom with 2 small children, married to my husband, and all of these things. And I kind of never thought in my life that my life could look any different than what it did. I always just thought that I didn't have those fears, anxieties, and mentally and emotionally, it kind of felt really crappy. Like it wasn't really, life did not seem like it was going in a great direction. And then I was signed up to go to Squamish, BC, to this week-long camping kind of out in the wilderness, kind of roughing it kind of personal development. And it just really changed my life. And it got me thinking, like, how many other people are kind of in the same boat that I was in? You know what I mean? Like, how many people are wondering, can their life be any better? Can their life look any different? Can they go on and have everything in their life without judgment from other people? And I think especially when it comes to our health, like for me, I've always gone against the grain. It's kind of a bit of a joke in our family. You know, my kids don't go to public school. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That just didn't jive for us. You know, so we found a school that totally goes on our values, and we pay for them to go there. Everything with our health, we take more of a natural approach in our house, using essential oils and a whole bunch of different things. So for me, I kind of want to show other people to kind of say, not in such a harsh way, but kind of in a joking way, like, screw you, society. Like, I create my life and my health on my own terms, and I'm going to do that without judgment. So that's kind of what I want to show people how to do. You know, to step into their, like to step into their personal strength and find their voice and to live the life they want without feeling like they can't make big life decisions without society or their family or friends or whoever it be judging them. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's huge. It seems so, when you say it, it's so easy and obvious, but it's huge for so many people that they just can't get past that judgment part that they feel that people are always having on them, don't you think?
Totally. I totally think that. And I'm 37 years old, and I have done almost 12 years of personal development, and there's still that little bit of an edge sometimes. There's still that edge sometimes that I think, oh my gosh, is someone going to judge me if I say this, if I act like this, if I make this life choice?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's
absolutely. It's always a work in progress, isn't it? Even after 12 years of study and work, and I think that's important for people that are just starting the journey, or people that are midway or considering starting a journey of making a change in their life. You're always a work in progress, and there's no real right or wrong, and you can't screw it up, and you can't do it wrong, because everybody's different. And I'm thinking, just knowing you the way I do, I'm thinking that's the approach that you take, that everybody has the right answer for themselves, and you help them find it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like forever in my coaching practice telling people, like, we need to listen to our intuition and our gut, because it's not going to steer us wrong. But the challenge I find sometimes is people haven't really tapped into that intuition or that feeling in their gut because of all of the chatter that's happening in their mind. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they've almost lost the sense of being able to make their own choice. For me, when I was having a challenging time making my own life choices, it was honestly because I was hearing everybody else's voice in my head judging me instead of me actually knowing what I wanted in my life.
Exactly.
So I had to figure that out as well. I had to, like, calm those voices down in my head, like the judgments from others, and I really had to get clear on what I wanted in my life. And the craziest part is I kind of brought awareness to the fact of, like, I kind of lost who I was as a person. So it was really cool to bring that awareness so that I could get back to who I actually wanted to be and what I wanted to offer to the world and what value I wanted to offer and the voice that I wanted to speak from. So it was very, very powerful.
And how can you, now if you can, just walk us through a little bit on how you got started. How did you start to quiet the voices and listen to your intuition and your gut? Because it sounds easy when you say it. It sounds easy to do, but it's so hard for people to really do it. And I want to say probably women have a harder time than men doing it, because they're meant to be pleasing people all the time. So how did you start to tap into that and say, okay, I'm just going to not listen to the voices and the judgment and look at that and start to listen to yourself and your own gut? How did you start that process?
Yeah, so it literally was in my early 20s when I started my personal development journey. It was just one of the courses that I took. We just kind of broke certain things down, so kind of life experiences, and I started processing through them. So not through a way of, like, trudging ourselves through the mud again or through the emotional mud, but just really bringing awareness to, like, whose voice is this in my head? Like as Betty May, one of our friends, says, like, whose stuff is this? You know what I mean?
That's
like, whose stuff is this? And then when I can identify, like, that's someone else's influence on me right now making this choice, I need to realize, like, I just get clear. What do I want? Like, if money didn't matter, if kids didn't matter, if work didn't matter, if all the logic goes out the window and nothing mattered, what would I truly want in this moment? And then I let my intuition say what it is, you know, and
that's
then
awesome.
because then I know that's truly what I want. And the first thing generally after that pops into my head is coming from my subconscious mind, and that's generally my most truest answer to what I want.
Okay, that is very cool. And I can't believe you were able to do that in your early 20s. I mean, I can, knowing you, but for so many people, that's a lot, because early 20s, you're very influenced and very impressionable still, because you're just coming into the world of, you know, adult, you know, where you have to get a job and pay for a car and a house and whatever else. So did you do that? Were you able to come to this by yourself? Did you have some support with certain people, or was it, you know, books or courses, or how did you go about that journey?
Yeah, so a lot, like, in the last 12 years, I've taken maybe 2 or 3 what I'm going to call, like, life-changing courses.
Okay.
And so I find, like, so I always tell people, I feel like my personal development journey, if I think of myself and all of my life experiences and all of my thoughts and all of my emotions and all of that kind of stuff, I kind of thought of it like a big onion, like a really big onion. So when I was in my early 20s, this onion was really, really big. And I feel like with every course I took or every book I read or anything that was influential to me, I feel like I was just, like, pulling back one layer of the onion every time. So like you said earlier, like, slow, small steps is kind of how I have done it in my life, right? So it wasn't like an overhaul the very first year I did personal development. It's taken me a while to get where I am. Yeah. And I often think of Rachel Hollis from Girl Wash Your Face. I just saw her speak at the beginning of March. And the thing I loved is it was so amazing. And the thing that I really took from it was she was standing on stage and she was like, look at me now. She's like, if you think that this has happened overnight, you're kidding yourself. She's like, this has taken me 15 years of work to get where I am right now. And it was like a light bulb moment for me, because it was totally like, oh my goodness, when I work with my clients, I need to realize that this took me 12 years. Yeah. 12 great years to get where I am. And that is what I'm about. Like, it takes time and it takes those little steps. And things aren't necessarily emotionally, mentally going to happen overnight. It takes time. And we need to be open to that time, right? And take kind of what comes at us and deal with it when it comes and make those life choices. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I see that a lot with the overnight sensation or the overnight, you know, creating wealth overnight. It doesn't happen that way, but people, when they just come on the scene and they see it, like you said, 12 years today they meet you versus 12 years ago, then they wouldn't have seen the difference. They just see you as you are and think that's just how it is. Like, you know, Angie's just got it all together. So it's funny how it's a good reminder to hear somebody else say that, because it's always something, and I'm going to guess that she's going to be working on that for another 15 years. So it's always going to be, you know, a work in progress and growth, and same probably for you. You'll be, 12 years from now, you're going to be that much more evolved and much, stronger helping people.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. So we're coming up to our first break for the night. And I think when we come back, what we want to do is pick your brain a little bit more on what you're doing now, and maybe you can talk to us a little bit about the essential oils. I know I've been around when you've created some pretty cool stuff, and maybe you can talk to us about how you got into that and what you use them for, and we'll pick your brain on that a little bit. So when we come back from our first break, we're going to continue to talk to Angela Smith, and she is our Wholistic Gangster that's with us for the show tonight. You are listening to the Inspired Choices Network, and this is Financially Speaking with your host, Kathy Cook Noble. And when we return, we're going to continue to talk about the Wholistic Gangster movement with Angela Smith. We'll be right back.
Too many of us get caught up in the unreal lives of reality television and complete to acquire stuff, which is setting us up to accumulate lots of debt. We're scared, confused, and don't know who to talk to. By tuning into Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble, you'll learn tips you can use to improve your financial health, which in turn can improve your overall health and make for a very happy life. Live a life you can afford and enjoy. It is possible. Listen for Financially Speaking radio show every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. This is Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Kathy at bookkeepplus.ca. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Kathy Cook Noble on the Inspired Choices Network, and you are listening to Financially Speaking. And today our show topic is about the Wholistic Gangster movement with Angela Smith. Before we went to break, we just started talking to Angela about the importance of the transformation time that you have to give yourself and the timeline, and working with somebody when you see them that they have had this transformation and great breakthrough and growth that didn't just happen overnight. And we're just talking to Angela Smith about her job in the coaching world with Warrior Spirit Coaching. She's also Warrior Spirit Oils. She does a lot of work with essential oils, and I thought we could just maybe pick her brain for a couple minutes and talk to her about that. Just switch gears for a minute and see where the essential oils all came into place. And I know that you've been using them for a while, Ange, and how you got into that and how you work that into your practice, because I know you do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I originally started using essential oils. I've been a massage therapist for 13 full years, and I just retired from that last year, the end of last year, and I was ready to jump full-time into essential oil education and helping people get started with that and my coaching practice. Nice. I just found there was a greater need for me in that area of my business and my life. So I originally got started with the oils because I wanted to add more value to my clients' treatments. So I looked into essential oils, and up popped this workshop to learn how to use them in your practice. And I immediately took that course, and on the next Monday, applied them in my practice, and people loved them. Their bodies felt better. I started using them more in my home for everything. So it was so amazing. And here I am 3 or 4 years later, educating people, showing them how they can get oils in their house, how they can basically change their life one drop at a time. And What I love about it, yeah, I know, right? And what I love about it is the simplicity. Like, I know right now when people look at essential oils, there's so much information on the internet and books and all this stuff. And so I find that overwhelming. So I love with my clients just taking them through like one step at a time, one drop at a time, you know, one thing you're experiencing at a time, and finding the oil that will work for you. Yeah, so it's kind of a gentle integration into the world of essential oils.
Oh, very good. So you will work with people, I think both on your client coaching side and just directly with the essential oils. You work with them to produce whatever ails they have. There's an essential oil that you either can, I think, because you mix a lot yourself, so you make a lot of your own formulas, right?
Yeah, so I do love, the odd time I'll mix some of my own blends based on what the outcome I wish to have. Or if people come to me and they say, okay, I'm kind of experiencing this, what would you suggest that I may make something up for them? But actually the company that I've partnered with actually has a lot of blends as well. And I like using their combinations that they've created because they're formulated exactly for what I need them for, and it's easy. So that's what I use a lot of those. But I'm not limited to it, but I love the mental and emotional aspect, how the oils can help. So it's totally in alignment. Yeah, totally in alignment with the values I live in life, totally in alignment with what I'm helping clients with, what I'm helping coaching clients with. So it's super awesome. My favorite blend is balance. So anytime that I am stuck in my head with thoughts or those downward spiraling thoughts that make the smallest thing a big issue in life, I just dab some on my wrist, and then I'm getting it topically on my skin. I'm smelling it aromatically through my nose, and kind of within minutes sometimes, like my body can just, and nervous system can just relax and calm down, and then I can move on with my day. So they're very good. Powerful. Yeah, very powerful. And I know too, like my son. So my son, so empathetic to a lot of people, to a lot of things in the world. He's 7. He also has a super high emotional side to him as well. So as a mom with 2 children, running a business, life goes on, but sometimes it can be a very hectic situation. So we even have special oils that work really well for children too. So we can go from my son being so angry that he's like dumping garbage and moving furniture out of anger to applying the oil, and then within maybe 5 or 10 minutes he's calmed down again, he's breathing back to normal, he's picking up the garbage. Like, it's incredible. Wow, that is incredible. That's incredible. Awesome. That's awesome. If I thought it was appropriate to tape my child in that moment, which I don't, but if I thought it was appropriate, I totally would tape it, just so people can see like the reality of like what I'm talking about.
So we're not going to see that on Facebook anytime soon, eh?
No, you aren't. There's not a lot of things I don't share, but that is one of them.
That's awesome. No, it's exciting.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's exciting to hear the success stories, and you don't always need to see the video, but it's nice when you can hear, about the things that work, which is because there's so many things out there, and you don't want to have to be a chemist to understand it to try and figure it out, right? So, exactly. So when you do work with somebody on the essential oils, do they get some kind of I was going to say cheat sheet, but some kind of guide to show them and say, hey, I'm having trouble sleeping. This is going to be the formula that works. Or do they just need to work with you and call you when they ever have something come up?
Yeah, so we have a team of people, just like myself, educating people. So we tap into all of our resources. So I have a Facebook group. People can ask questions there. I love giving people my cell phone number so people can text me. I know other business people might think that this is like off the wall a little bit. But I mean, at 10 o'clock at night, if a child has an earache and a mom doesn't know what to do, I'm happy that they text me. In that moment, they need support, and I am there for them. So, I do keep my boundaries within my business, but I totally have like the texting support for people. We have group events, we have classes. And then when people sign up with a wholesale account, they get a cute little booklet that gives them information, and I give them a little welcome package. So basically, people have all the resources that they need just to keep it simple.
Oh, good. Very nice. So that's what people want, right? They want to keep it simple. Their essential oils, they want it simple. They want their finances to be simple. And it's exciting because I think there's always ways to make things simple that the world seems to find a way to make it complicated, and it's exciting to hear that you can make it simple for them again, which is great. So that's exciting for me because I see that. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and that's kind of like my motto to life. Like, keep it simple. You know,
yeah.
It's interesting because even when I'm trying to make life decisions, whatever it may be, whether it be a purchase for health or a financial investment or whatever it is, I always just think, like, look at the facts. You know, try to take that emotional attachment out of it and look at the facts and just weigh the pros and cons and then see what fits good for you. I think we just always have so much emotional attachment sometimes to certain things that complicates things.
Absolutely.
And it's easier said than done to not have emotional attachment.
I know. And I think the other thing is that you have to focus on your facts. It's not about your neighbor and what was on Facebook and all that stuff. You get that overwhelmed because you think neighbor or your cousin or your sister or uncle, whatever, is supposed to be, they've done a better job or they've done it faster or whatever. And you compete with all these people, but it's a completely different game you're playing when it's your own. So I think it's great because you want to make it custom to yourself. So you've been doing the essential oils for a lot of years now. Tell me a little bit about how you partner with people to create, because you do some other stuff that's kind of cool about residual income in the health field, and I don't know a heck of a lot about that, so it's your turn now to educate me on that.
Awesome, yeah. So I think it's important, and it's only my own opinion, that people have diversity in their income. Mm-hmm. So I think, you know, I'm
with you on that.
Yeah, okay, good. I was like,
it's a great idea. Great idea. Always a fan of multiple streams of income.
I know, right? So I think it's super awesome if people love their 9-to-5 job, if they work factory, if they love it, if people are where they're at in their life and they absolutely love it, I think it's incredible. I also think there is value in creating multiple streams of income. Yeah. So I partner with people who love essential oils and who want to add value to other people's lives and want to put residual income in their pockets. So I partner with them. Yeah, I show them the blueprint to our business, and we customize the business to what they need it to be for their life. And then we go through the steps, and I show them how to educate people on essential oils and healthcare products and bringing the value that they have to other people. So it's really cool because it's not just selling a product. I totally believe with network marketing or anything like that, like, you're not selling a product, you're selling a lifestyle. So we have to be able to bring more value than just the product. So so I show people how to do that, and I think it just takes them in a direction that it gives them the time freedom, the financial freedom, that they can make these life choices that they may not have been able to make before.
Oh, very good. And that I'm a huge fan of, just in general, because I think it's always so important that you maintain control of your decision making and control of your life, because I've said this on the show a lot of times, like, your true freedom comes in when you have financial freedom, when you can decide what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, and you don't owe anybody anything, either through time or through money. So I think that's really cool that you work with people to help build that, really, because that's what you do, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe after the break, I can talk a little bit more about, like, what it's been like for me to have time spent on financial freedom, to live like the awesome life I have. Yeah.
That's what exactly. I also want to ask you about salt lamps and citrine crystals. I don't know a lot about that, but I am super curious, especially about the salt lamp. I have one. Yeah. My husband, he's had it for years and years. I have no idea what it's supposed to do, so you have to give me some education after the break.
Awesome.
So I say it out loud so I won't forget. We're gonna take our second break of the night, and then Ange is gonna help me understand why I have a salt lamp in my room. You are listening to Financially Speaking on the Inspired Choices Network. I am your host, Kathy Cook Noble, and when we return, we're going to continue to talk to our holistic gangster, Angela Smith, for the rest of the show. We'll be right back.
Too many of us get caught up in the unreal lives of reality television and complete to acquire stuff, which is setting us up to accumulate lots of debt. We're scared, confused, and don't know who to talk to. By tuning into Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble, you'll learn tips you can use to improve your financial health, which in turn can improve your overall health and make for a very happy life. Live a life you can afford and enjoy. It is possible. Listen for Financially Speaking radio show every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Money is complicated, right? Actually, no, it's not. You don't have to be a trader on Wall Street to get a handle on your money. TV shows often instill fear to keep you believing you can't understand it or do anything yourself. If dealing with your finances brings up a lot of other F words, then you need to read All Ladies Should Use the F Word, A Guide to Loving Your Finances by Kathy Cook Noble. Kathy helps you take control of your finances and leave the other F word, fear, in the dust. This is Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Kathy at bookkeepplus.ca. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Kathy Cook Noble, and you are on the Inspired Choices Network listening to Financially Speaking. And today we are talking with Angela Smith. She is the Wholistic Gangster. And before we went to break, she was sharing with us a little bit about essential oils. We just got into it. And I know from my experience that I just think they smell great, and I know that they do good things. So I'm learning from Ange more on. There's a whole art to mixing them and having proper formulas, and each of them has specific ailments that they can help you with. And I was excited when Ange said she can, when you work with Ange too, she's also available, say, at 10 o'clock at night when there's an emergency for her to help you get through and figure out what the formula should be, so you don't have to struggle and stress yourself out. So for anyone that's looking for help with essential oils, or who's looking to work with essential oils and get some training and work with Ange, then I would definitely invite you to check out her website, and we'll talk to Ange about that. She can share with us her website and how to get a hold of her so that that we get it right, and then that we can make sure we get a hold of her, because this is something that anybody around the world that's listening, we have a lot of listeners in Canada and the United States, and for sure Ange can work with anybody and anywhere. So Ange, why do I have a salt lamp in my bedroom? We got to get your email out there. I want to get your email address correct, and your phone number, and you got to tell me why I have a salt lamp.
Awesome. So I love salt lamps. I have them like everywhere in my home. One thing, I just love the look of them. Like, they make me feel calm. They make me feel grounded, and it's just that like awesome little pop of light in a room when you don't want this like huge lamp in there with this like huge light. But the major thing with them is they neutralize electromagnetic radiation. So anything like from electronics. So we have like this like electromagnetic radiation emitting around us by electronics, your smartphone, your computer, your TV, tablets, appliances. So those would be putting positive ions into the air. So the salt lamp brings negative ions into the air and hopefully like cancels out the effects of electronics.
Okay.
So super awesome. So it can help with like chronic fatigue, increased stress levels, purifies the air. Apparently it's known to reduce asthma and allergy symptoms, helps improve breathing, increases energy levels, helps you sleep better. So lots of things. You should be using that salt lamp every day.
Well, I can see that's what I need to be doing because I am not the best at sleep. I don't get enough of it. I probably don't go to bed at the right time. So I can see I am definitely going to need to. I have two. I'm looking at them right now, and I have two in my office here. And I'm guessing I should turn them on, like put a light in and light them up, right?
Yes, should.
Okay.
It's funny, I was just doing a little bit of research here, and it's funny that you have one in your room because it says reduces stress and increase performance. So maybe you could put that, turn that on in your room too.
All right then. All right. So not just my office.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally fine.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the candle, so you can just put the little candle thing in it and turn it on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it. That's awesome. That's exciting. I'm going to sleep better.
Yeah. And what do you know about crystals? So you wanted to know about my citrine crystals.
Yes. I know nothing. I know almost nothing about crystals. So I just think they sound really cool and they're very pretty. So what magic do they come with?
So do you believe in like energy of crystals at all? Because I could sound super woo-woo right now if you do not believe in energy.
Okay. Oh, bring it on. That's what we want to hear. That's great. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so often I will have citrine crystal on me, which is like a tiny tint of yellow in it, and it brings financial abundance. So I will have those a lot of the time. Yeah, so it's like the energy of the crystal that's kind of attracted to our body when they're around us. And I'm kind of on the same page as you. I don't know a whole bunch about them, but I do know that my children love them. I love them. We have some on our fireplace mantle beside my big like clay Buddha head, and I surround myself with them around the essential oils. And yeah, we kind of pick them as well based on like how they feel for us. So a lot of sensory stuff. If we think they're pretty, and kind of just using our intuition if they call to us. So it's really cool. Yeah. So a lot of those.
I like
intuition.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So that all ties into what we were talking about at the beginning about with you coaching people on how to listen to their intuition and trust their gut. And it all ties in. I can see where it all ties together. You work with them one-on-one, verbally, with their getting in their proper mindset, and then you can use the essential oils and the crystals come into play. I mean, who doesn't like financial abundance being attracted to you? I mean, really,
right?
It's to be one of my favorites. I'm not going to lie. It is financially speaking. I am a little biased, so I like that. Everyone should have one.
Maybe I'll get you some next time I see you.
There you go.
Well,
all right.
I'm not gonna lie. It has been suggested before to wear them like actually in my bra, so I have done that before as well. So then they're always on me, right? But then at nighttime, they're like clink, 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 clink all over the ground before bedtime. It's sometimes not the best solution, but yeah.
A little crystal dance.
Yeah. And then there's other crystals too that just like bring so much other stuff into our life too, like personal boundaries or helping us find our voice or like healing, or as a practitioner, I believe amethyst, like it helps ward off other people's negative feelings and thoughts. So they're like really powerful as well. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so I never even thought of amethyst being like a crystal. I always think of them as, you know, I know precious stones, but I guess that's what crystals really are, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. All right, so that wards off negative energy. I have a amethyst necklace that I wore. I'm pretty sure I was in a good mood that day too. That's pretty cool. I might have to wear it more often.
That's awesome.
That's good. I like it. I like it a lot.
What other questions do you have for me? What do you want to know?
So when people come to work with you, where would you start? Like, how do you get started with people? Do you sometimes do you start with crystals? Do you start with oils? Do you start with the coaching? So how does your practice work so that people know? And then I want to make sure you share the proper website and contact information for them.
Yeah, perfect. So I think it really depends on what people come to me for. So some people will come to me strictly for essential oils, and that's awesome. So that's a great starting point. And when people come and we start talking about oils, I just naturally, so what I coach in my coaching practice, I live those strategies every day. I show up with those strategies every day, and I add that value to people's life. So for me, when people come for oils, I am naturally helping them with those strategies from coaching as well, in just a very gentle form, right? So like you were saying about sleep. So if people are talking about not getting enough sleep, then if they're coming for essential oils, then I would kind of determine, okay, well, what's the root cause of it? Is your mind spinning at nighttime? Are you having downward spiraling thoughts? Are you thinking too much about your next day? Or have you not let go of things from today? Or, what is it? What's the root cause? And as we kind of go through those things, then I can suggest oils with them, but then also suggest maybe some different little exercises that they can do to help quiet the mind as well, right? So even though they're coming, quote unquote, just for oils, they're also getting a little bit of the extra value as well. And then I have people that maybe want to book a one-on-one session with me strictly for coaching. And I would literally just start with what's their core values, so I do this amazing, I think it's amazing, core value exercise where we determine their top 5 core values. And I have done that for myself. And sometimes our core values change as our life changes. And I always use that as a reference for people to look back at when they're making life decisions. So, for example, I bought a vending machine route previously as a business, and I looked at my core values, and it didn't really fit in my core values, but I made it fit. I convinced myself that it was part of my core values and that it would be great. And in the end, I brought super awareness to the fact that I just convinced myself of that, and it actually wasn't any part of my core values. And you know what? Surprise, surprise, that business did not go well. It didn't end well. It didn't function well. I hated it. And it was a huge learning lesson for me, though, that I needed to go back to the core values and listen and make sure my business choices and life choices fit into my core values. Yeah, so I take people through kind of the same thing so that they know, these decisions they're making in life, so that they can kind of measure it against what their values are.
Which is so great, because really you save them a lot of time, money, and heartache when you can get that focused and narrowed down as soon as you possibly can. The alignment, I know with your example there, it makes total sense. And I know so many people that this is what I should do, not what I really want to do, not what I believe I should be doing or is best for me, but they really stick with it hoping that they'll make it work. So it's great that you are working with them, right? Make them more aware of themselves and how they can do what they need to do and make it better for them and their families. That's great. So we're coming up to our third break and final break for the night, and we have about a minute before we go to break. So I want to make sure we get your proper, where can they get a hold of you, Ange? Like, how could people call you or email? What's best?
Yeah, so if people want to go on Facebook, we'll start with that one. People can search Wholistic Gangster. So I'm actually just in the process of rebranding myself to Wholistic Gangster. So I've made a bit of a switch. And but on Facebook, you can find me on Wholistic Gangster. You can look me up there. People can feel free to give me a call. My telephone number is 519-320-0288. And then people can also email me at holisticgangster@hotmail.com. Yeah, so those are some great ways to get a hold of me. Yeah. Excellent. All right. So we're going to take our third and final break of the night, and then we're going to come back and finish our conversation with Ange, although there's so much more that I'm sure we could talk about. We're just limited because the boss is on tonight producing, so we got to be right on schedule. So because the boss is listening. We're going to take our final break tonight. When we come back, we'll talk to Ange. You're listening to Financially Speaking with myself, Kathy Cook Noble,
on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we come back, we'll wrap up our conversation with the Wholistic Gangster, Angela Smith. We'll be right back.
Too many of us get caught up in the unreal lives of reality television and complete to acquire stuff, which is setting us up to accumulate lots of debt. We're scared, confused, and don't know who to talk to. By tuning into Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble, you'll learn tips you can use to improve your financial health, which in turn can improve your overall health and make for a very happy life. Live a life you can afford and enjoy. It is possible. Listen for Financially Speaking radio show every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Money is complicated, right? Actually, no, it's not. You don't have to be a trader on Wall Street to get a handle on your money. TV shows often instill fear to keep you believing you can't understand it or do anything yourself. If dealing with your finances brings up a lot of other F words, then you need to read All Ladies Should Use the F Word, A Guide to Loving Your Finances by Kathy Cook Noble. Kathy helps you take control of your finances and leave the other F word, fear, in the dust. This is Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Kathy at bookkeepplus.ca. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Kathy Cook Noble, your host on Financially Speaking on the Inspired Choices Network. And today, this afternoon, depending on your time zone, we have been talking to Angela Smith. She is the Wholistic Gangster and sharing tips with us on both her coaching and her essential oils and as well as crystals and energy work that she does. So, Ange, what's next for you? What's going to be on your list of things from the future?
So I have a huge list of things, and I have actually just brought awareness recently to the fact that I am only one person, and I can only do so many things at once. So I've had to prioritize. Yeah, which coincidentally, that has, by not listening to that has also stalled me a little bit, because like a little bit of resistance, because it's kind of like, which direction do I go in? What do I do next? But I'm really excited. I am creating a Shopify site to offer Wholistic Gangster apparel. So T-shirts and hats and, really cool stuff that we're really so using it for multiple different reasons, but really just creating like a really funky, bold apparel line for people to wear, and also using it from a business standpoint as advertising and marketing for myself, my brand. And I'm just excited. It's kind of a passion project for me, so I'm really excited. Yeah.
Very cool. So that's going to be on Shopify, or you have it already a Shopify store set up?
I am in the process of learning how to set it all up. So, technology is not my strong point. So I am slowly step by step teaching myself how to do it. So it'll be a difficult process, but I'm really excited. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited for you. Good job. Because I know you've always got something going on. You're not sitting still very often. So
no, I am not. And it's
excellent.
So interesting. Like how, do we have more time or?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, cool. I was curious, like how far out for yourself do you think of your goals and your dreams, like personally for yourself? Like
for
5
me?
years, 10 years?
Oh,
yeah.
So I'm probably an anomaly because I'm one of those people that is like 20 years out.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
I've always been like that. When I was in high school, I was probably the end of grade 12, beginning at the time we had OAC, the year before we went to university, and I had all my courses picked out for my undergrad in advance. I knew at school, like I'm an obsessive organizer and an obsessive planner, and for me it's like 20 years out. I haven't got that planned out to the day, but I have a pretty good plan for this year, almost to the day, and then 20 years out I always have an idea of where my plans are. So I'm a little bit of an anomaly, I think.
That's amazing. Like, that makes me feel better, actually. That actually makes me feel better. Because I love planning. Good. I love dreaming. I love writing in journals. But I also have this vision for my much, much, much later future. I don't know when. I don't know the year. But definitely having, like, a Wholistic Gangster cafe. So I love artisan cafes. Like, that's my jam. That's where you'll find me. I support local businesses. Like, I love a good chai latte with cashew milk. Like,
cool.
It's amazing. Yeah, so my vision is this, like, Wholistic Gangster cafe where there's, like, workspace for entrepreneurs where they can come bring their laptop and chill and spend the whole day there and have space to rent and have healthy foods and greens and smoothies and, you know, alternative milks and all these things. And, like, that's also going to be another passion project, like, down the line. So I'm keeping my sights really open with, you know, what's exciting, what brings passion and joy and happiness to my life. And, you know, when I think about a cafe right now, I think that's not even logical. But you know what? That's the best part about dreaming and planning is it doesn't have to be logical, right? The idea
I agree. It doesn't have to sound logical right now, but you can always find it in a way of being logical. There's a lot of great business entrepreneurs out there that it didn't seem logical that, you know, a theme park would work with a mouse as the main character, and it's gone over really well. So I think you have got it right on. You're on the right track, and you've got so much great energy. And I'm always excited when I see you because you've always got such a great, positive, energetic way about you. So you're always, even if you're not in a good mood, you seem like you're always in a good mood. So I think that's awesome.
It's so good.
I
know. I love laughing. You know, like, I don't know. I the biggest thing I learned in my early 20s was don't add meaning to anything. You know, so don't add meaning to anything. People say, you know, like if someone's like, oh, Angela, I don't like that shirt today. It just means they don't like my shirt. It doesn't mean anything else.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean I should change it. It doesn't mean I should burn it. It doesn't mean I should never wear it. It doesn't mean they're bad. Like, it just means they didn't like my shirt, you know? And that's it. I think that's what's brought a lot of ease to my life, and just laugh at those things and have fun and bring joy and happiness and stop comparing to other people. And yeah, like, life can be so wonderful with the right tools.
That is such great advice, and your timing is perfect because we're just about out of time for tonight.
Perfect.
That is awesome advice, Ange. Thank you so much. We're so excited and so happy that you were able to join us tonight on Financially Speaking. And we're here every Monday, and we're on replays. Our podcasts are on, and I said the boss was listening tonight, and I'm going to get this wrong. It's like 15 different platforms. Are there about, Christine, if you're listening? How close that? 50. I knew it. 50. 50, not 15. See? And I'm the numbers person. That's a little scary. But, 50 different platforms. So the Inspired Choices Network is a phenomenal network that is all about empowering people and inspiring people to be their better self. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, Ange. Next week, we're going to be doing cost savings in the workplace, and I'm going to have my sister back for her co-hosting because I am off on another adventure with my book, and I'm just really excited to have the opportunities that I have. Thank you all for joining us on Financially Speaking, and we will be back here again. Stay tuned. There's always great stuff to learn.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Financially Speaking Radio Show. Kathy Cook Noble will return next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by making the choices that bring you all that you desire.